Yo! What's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and I've been waiting all day to say it. Happy Victory Monday, Big Blue. You guys deserve it. You do. You're the best fans in the world, and your football team finally delivered a W in Week 4. You deserve it. You guys are the real deal. Major shout out to everybody in the building. We have a loaded show coming up for all of the real ones. I'm going to tell you after I've watched the tape now 2 times who the winners and the losers were for the New York Giants coming out of their Week 4 win against the Los Angeles Chargers. We're also debuting a brand new segment on today's show. Every week, until nobody cares anymore, we're going to do a Jaxson Dart report card following every single game. I've gone back and I've watched the All-22 film now twice for Jaxson Dart. Every throw, every run. I have 4 major takeaways from the ball game. So every Tuesday morning, maybe sometimes Monday afternoon, I will be putting out a Jaxson Dart report card video. So winners and losers today. Jaxson Dart report card, and it breaks my heart to say this, Malik Neighbors replacements. Nobody's going to replace Malik Neighbors. Nobody has the feet to fill those shoes. But I do believe that the New York Giants need to make a move at the wide receiver position. I know there's been a lot of talk that the Giants don't need to trade a pick. They're not going anywhere this year. I believe adding a wide receiver this year that could make an impact is critical for the development of Jaxson Dart over the next 13 games. Because the way the Giants offense looked pre and post Malik Neighbors' injury was extremely different. There is no player on the Giants offense that puts even a shred of fear or bends a defense at all right now on this roster. I'm not saying you can go out and trade for a wide receiver 1, that you're going to go out and trade for a difference maker. But I do believe the Giants need to go out and make some sort of move. Trade, free agency, something. 250 people in the building. Let me get some real ones down below. Shout out to all of y'all. If you bleed Giants blue, you're enjoying Victory Monday. Give me a real one down below, man. Let's go. I'm pumped up. Shout out to ETC. My guy, Troy, Chris Duffy, Mama Doo. What up, baby? Blue Fang in the building. What's up, Seth Gross? We the plug. Gilly, the Big Moo. Nick's Galaxy, what up? BX banging. NY repping in the building. Cushmaster, Carl Knight, Bam Bam, Carter, Michael, Corey Grant. Shout out to everybody in the building. If you could, please hit that thumbs up icon. We want to make this the biggest Giant stream on YouTube today. We got 300 people watching, only 89 likes. Can we get to 200 likes right now? If you love the Giants, you're pumped up to be 1-0, hit that thumbs up icon. And once you have, give me a me down below. My man Greg Congdon in the building. What's up, GC? The Gaming Cube, Sean Trimble, Pachu, Brandon, Troy, Tommy Rips. What up, Tommy Rips? Marty Malela back in the building again. Marty was a man on a mission yesterday. He led the charge of the Giants real ones having a ball yesterday. We appreciate you, Marty. Shout out to you, my man. It ain't a Jaxson Darty without my man Marty. And he's back again with a $10 super chat. Give me some double M's in the building. What up, Carl Jean-Baptiste? What's up, Beast Mode? Marty, what up, my man? How you feeling? Says my prediction, Dart goes 2-0. Let's ride. All aboard the Dart train. Andrew Connell, you can go and beat the New Orleans Saints. You can beat that football team.
Absolutely. I think this is a game, if you looked at the Giants' schedule before the season, no matter who the quarterback was, fans are penciling this in as a W. And now the Saints, I think, have looked better than people have expected. I think they put up a fight against Buffalo yesterday, one of the best teams in the NFL. But you cannot have a letdown from a victory against a 3-0 Chargers team, go in, play New Orleans, and lose to a team that is 0-4, I believe, coming into this game.
Yeah, look, this is the only game the New York Giants are favored in the entire season. Giants enter this game as 1.5-point favorites. And I know there was a lot of talk about, oh, we got to wait to start Jaxson Dart against the Saints. Well, now he's got the first game jitters out of the way. He's getting to watch a tape. He's getting to get better. And hopefully the Jaxson Dart you see this Sunday is better than what we saw last Sunday.
That's all we can ask of the kid. Every single week, get better. And, we were saying coming into the game, he's going to make mistakes. There weren't very many that he made yesterday. Did a good job keeping the ball out of harm's way. So just repeat that process you did last week. Prepare as a starter. Get ready to play New Orleans. I'm excited to see what kind of new wrinkles Brian Daboll, Mike Kafka are going to add to that game plan to build on what they already did this past week, because I'm sure they didn't want to throw too much at him. They kept it simple. You saw he only had 20 pass attempts, used his legs a little bit. So just to take another step, start adding new wrinkles into the offense and let him grow as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, and they showed some trust in Jaxson Dart yesterday as well. What about 3rd and 13 from your own 1-yard line, and you line up in the shotgun for him to throw a pass? You also called a couple of passes inside the 5-yard line. But it was pretty obvious what the game plan was yesterday. We're going to run the football down your throat. Over 40 carries in totality for the New York Giants yesterday. Cam Skattebo was active. They used Jaxson Dart's legs as well in this ball game, and we talked about it a little yesterday. I really liked the way that Devin Motor Singletary ran late in that fourth quarter. Thought that he was able to capitalize on being fresh against a defense of the Chargers that kind of looked like they were out of gas towards the end of that game.
Yeah, I think when you give Cam Skattebo 25 carries, that's going to wear on a defense. We saw a lot of him, and with that, Motor came in with fresh legs on a big drive in the second half and was able to get chunk runs after over and over again. So I think that's something that they can continue using that 1-2 punch, wearing teams down with Skattebo, bringing in Motor in that second half, and just keep it rolling. And I thought with Dart's legs, they were able to kind of just stretch the defense horizontally, make them account for all 53 yards from one sideline to the next. And with that, it just makes it harder for a defense to defend. They knew that any run play was going to happen between the tackles with Russell Wilson at quarterback. When you have Dart who can take it all the way to the outside, it just gives those defenders a little bit of hesitation as they come in.
I agree. I think we're going to see a similar game plan this Sunday against the Saints as well. It'll have to be a little bit different with no Malik Neighbors, but I do expect that. Orexa, by the way, that was not true, my man. I promise you Jaxson Dart didn't post a picture of Justin Herbert's girlfriend, bro. I'm telling you, didn't happen. You're getting got. You're getting grokked. You're getting centelled. It's not true. It didn't happen, my man. Fish on Jay, what up, Beast Mode? $10 super chat, salute to you. Real one, Big Blue, 6+44. Alexa, I don't care if you have a screenshot. It's fake. It's fake, brother. It's fake. Do you really think that Jaxson Dart posted a picture of Justin Herbert's girlfriend? Come on, man. Use some context clues. Critical think a little bit. Didn't happen. We kind of saw what the overall feel is going to be like with Jaxson Dart and Cam Skattebo. It's an aggressive, and it's a will to win between those two guys. It really is. Those guys hate to lose.
Yeah, and I think we see that in the way they run the ball. I'm not sure. I know there was some sacks, but they took any really negative runs. Those are guys who fall forward. They punish people. They initiate contact when they run the ball. So that's a mentality that kind of carries over to the entire team, seeing guys falling forward, just playing aggressive, inviting the contact. And you want to be smart about it at the same time, but it kind of adds some juice to the football team.
Skylar, that is true. He did say that. He said that back 5 months ago, though. He did not post a picture of Madison beer before the game. I can promise you that. There's a line that Jaxson Dart is going to have to learn how to walk of being aggressive and being reckless with the hits that he does take. You don't want to take all that out of his game. That's part of the reason that he's here, why he is a good football player. I mean, we saw on the play that the hold got called on JMS. You got to tackle Jaxson Dart. He runs through that safety on the right side, crosses field, throws a violent stiff arm to the safety. Love it, obviously. But I'm worried about the hand. I don't want him recklessly throwing his right hand at the helmet of a defender. I don't know if I want him lowering his shoulder into a strong safety's chest. But He broke both tackles, and he had the ball inside the 10-yard line. It's something he's going to have to manage, something he's going to have to balance, and try to find that soft, narrow line of, I'm doing both.
I think definitely nervous with that throw-in hand. It's something that's hard to, when you're in the heat of battle, to just not try and throw your hand out there. But that's an injury you cannot have. On top of that, I think he did a better job of not really recklessly putting his body in harm's way like he did in that preseason game when he sustained that concussion. But the one play that really came into question when he got pulled out of the game, I don't really think that was his fault. He kind of, yes, he didn't slide, but I think it was okay in that situation. And I was surprised that they took him out for a concussion check after that.
Yeah, he kind of put his hands on both knees after, leaned over, was out of breath. Yeah, I don't love that he got taken out of that, but I don't mind putting the player's safety first. I don't mind that, but let that have been a big play, a game-changing play, and then he has to come out. Then it would have been a much bigger problem. That's for sure. Shout out to you, Fish on Jay. Big dog status. Big dog. He's a big dog. Shout out to you, bro. $5 super chat. Giants need to go old school. 86, 07, 2011 defense and running backs and good receivers. I mean,
sounds like a good football team to me.
Yeah, that's the goal. And that's kind of what we saw yesterday for a quarter. But everyone was telling me to cheer up, Marsh. It's okay. The reality is setting in, Andrew Connell. The Giants are in wide receiver hell right now.
Yeah, there's not a lot of proven production there. We've seen Darius Slayton be extremely consistent over his career, right always around 700, 800 yards. That's not a number one receiver on a good football team. Wan'Dale Robinson had more inconsistent periods of success. Last year, kind of more of a underneath check down target, high receptions, low yardage. Had the big game against Dallas, otherwise not great. There is no number one receiver on this team anymore. So, and I don't know if you're going to be able to get a guy like that midseason. I know we'll talk about later today some potential options for the Giants in the wake of the Malik Neighbors injury, but it's going to have to be a committee approach. They're going to need some guys to step up. Jalin Hyatt, if you get some snaps, you're a third-round pick. Your NFL career is on life support. Show me something. Bo Collins, they've liked what they've seen from him, obviously. They've been singing his praises since training camp, so let's see you make a play. It's going to have to be that. I think they're going to continue to pound the ball on the ground, run the ball, and maybe get the tight ends involved a little more. Theo Johnson, Daniel Bellinger. Spread the rock around. That's what it's going to have to be because there's not going to be anyone that's getting 10-plus targets a game, I don't think.
And, Malik Neighbors was essentially taking away two defenders every play. It was the corner that was guarding him, and 95% of the snaps this year, that safety cheated over the top of Malik Neighbors. He would show middle, he'd show middle third, but he would dart to Malik Neighbors' side right when the ball was snapped. There's not a single player on this team that commands a double team now.
Absolutely.
And that allows one more to be brought in pressure, allows one more to be in the box, another person to be QB spying Jaxson Dart, which I think we're going to start to see a lot more of. The ripple effect of this Malik Neighbors injury, it's going to be hard to overcome, and I don't know if they're going to be able to overcome it, to be quite frank with you.
Let's see, Brian Daboll. You don't have a guy who can just go and win a one-on-one matchup really anymore. So it's the onus is on you as the offensive guru, Mike Kafka, scheme guys open, which is something we've been frustrated. We have not seen a lot of to this point for the New York Giants. So, but that's what is going to have to happen because they don't have a guy like Malik Neighbors who's just going to dust a guy, win a one-on-one matchup. Just not going to happen.
Agreed. Jason, what's up, my man? Appreciate the love, bro. Hey, AJ is not happy in Philly. Let's try to trade for A.J. Brown. I jokingly quote tweeted my guy Chase Sr. who works here. He was a little frustrated that A.J. Brown was frustrated with his lack of involvement despite being 4-0. As much as I would love for A.J. Brown to be a Giant, Howie Roseman ain't trading A.J. Brown to the Giants. I don't think that's going to be there. I don't think that's going to happen.
I'm not sure he's going to get traded at all, and much less he's not going to trade him to the Giants. I don't care if the Giants brought in a Godfather offer. They're not trading him to a division rival.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see that happening. I think there are some potential trade targets, and we'll get into that on today's show as we'll go through Malik Neighbors' replacements, which none of the guys you can go and get will replace Malik Neighbors. He's one of one. WDs. What up, Beast? $5 super chat. Sorry if you already talked about this, but what do you think about the Giants trading for a vet wide receiver to help till the end of the season? DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah, I personally think the Giants should trade for a receiver. Unless you think there's a receiver in free agency that's going to make a difference. Are you going to find a receiver that's as good as Malik Neighbors? No. But I think there's a couple names out there you could pursue. I know Andrew Connell, and feel free to play devil's advocate or how you feel. There's a lot of people that I trust and believe in that don't think it's smart to trade for a receiver. The Giants don't need to use a pick right now. Whereas I believe that playing these next 13 games with the current receiving core could be more detrimental to Jaxson Dart's development, and it could be much more beneficial by going out and trading one, because one, it gives you another weapon, but two, and I know no one wants to hear this, and I don't even want to freaking say it, Malik Neighbors may not be the same player he was next year, and you might need a receiver next year too.
Yeah, I think what the Giants front office has done a lot with some of their player philosophy and transaction philosophy is they evaluate things in a vacuum and on paper. Joe Shane is going to look at any potential trade as, am I winning this trade? Am I losing this trade? This pick could get me something in the future. We may need a guy. We're a young team. We're trying to still be on the up and up. We need picks, not veterans. But that factor of Jaxson Dart's development that you talked about is not something to be measured in a transaction. So they need to take that into account and not just worry about the straight-up value of the trade. Worry about your young quarterback. Worry about what's best for him. But I don't know. They always think, okay, I'm paying this guy $12 million. Like, what is he going to give me for $12 million? Is that the value right where it needs to be for what I'm getting for that money instead of, this is a good football player, let's keep him for $12 million. This is a good football player, let's keep him for $15 million. Or as far as where you're allocating those resources, sometimes you just need to make the move. Go ahead. Stop thinking about it like it's a spreadsheet.
I agree. I think that we're going to see relatively quickly what all these Victory Monday vibes go away. You go and beat the Saints. Reality's going to slap you in the face on Thursday night against the Eagles when they're putting 8 in the box and they're playing man across the board and you can't get open and you don't have any benders on your team, meaning nobody bends this defense. Oh, they got to do this on defense because they got that guy. Like, I understand. Trading for a receiver now does not make the Giants a playoff contender. The Giants are playing for the playoffs right now, though. The Giants are playing to develop Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart needs another weapon to develop this year. That's where I'm at right now. I truly believe it. I truly do. So, hey, Goods Detail. What's up, Beast? When can there be a live call with fans? I've thought about that. Maybe we find a way to work that in. Maybe we find a way to work that in, Sahagan's detailing. Nobody really does that at Chat Sports. We'd have to figure out a way to make that happen. But it's something I always think about. It is. It is. We appreciate you, brother. My question to you, Andrew Cotto, and the rest of the chat is, who gets your game ball from the Chargers Week 4 win? Got one game ball. Who are you giving it to?
This is tough. The easy answer everyone wants to say is Jaxson Dart, but he didn't do it alone. I think the defense played big time. I kind of want to go Dexter Lawrence here. That play kind of sparked the team for the rest of the game. Maybe something that fell under the radar because it happened earlier in the game, and other guys on defense played well. Burns had a big sack. Thibodeaux played well. Carter was all over Herbert all day, but Dexter Lawrence, leader, realized that he needed to make a play to kind of get this team going, get this defense going, get into a little bit of a groove. So I'm going to go with Dexter Lawrence. We haven't seen him look like himself, and that was a vintage sexy Dexy play.
Yeah, that was a really good play. It was. Giants need to learn how to punch these turnovers that they get gifted the ball inside the 10-yard line into touchdowns. But a good start. A good start. Penalties kind of hurt the Giants in the red zone. They had the ball at the 2-yard line. Someone on the offensive line jumped off sides on a play where Jaxson Dart had Wan'Dale Robinson wide open for the touchdown. Yeah, I could make a case for so many people to get the game ball. And if I had one, I don't know who I'd give it to. I'd probably lean to Dart, though.
It's usually what happens when you win is there's a lot of guys who played well.
Quarterback, first start, first win. There is some major Giants news that we need to talk about. I know that I've pushed for John Mara to sell the team. I've said things about John Mara that aren't great. Whether you like him, you love him, he's a human. And he put out this statement today. I have recently been diagnosed with cancer and have been following the treatment plan recommended by an outstanding team of doctors. I'm feeling strong and optimistic, and I'm committed to seeing this through to a positive outcome. I plan to remain active with the team throughout my treatment, and I'm fortunate to be surrounded by incredible support personally, professionally, and medically. I ask that you respect my privacy and my family's privacy at this time. It's awful news. It's awful news. I am heartbroken for the Mara family. I will pray for John Mara. I will pray for the Mara family. And this is kind of a reality check that this is just more than football. And that's respectfully all I really have to say about it. All I really want to be said about it. I hope everybody shows empathy to the Maras. And God bless them, as I hope you guys will continue to keep him in your prayers. And hopefully he can kick cancer's ass. That's what we should all be rooting for. So God bless the Mara family, and prayers up to Mr. John Mara.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like we've talked about, football, people love the Giants, people get passionate about football. This is bigger than football, so put all that aside, whether you're upset, happy about the Giants, just wish John Mara the best.
Wish him the best. That's all we can do. That's all we should do. That's all I hope everyone does. So Hagen's detail on my man, $5 super chat. I believe Jaxson Dart's development without Malik Neighbors, let's say he does good without him. Imagine once he's healthy and back on the field. Yeah, that's the goal, right? Look, we're going to see what it's like. And I don't have a good feeling about what's on the other side of that coin. I saw how the Chargers adjusted and played defense when Malik Neighbors wasn't in. The Giants were not successful on offense when Malik Neighbors was not in. I'm all for the next man up, Andrew Connell. Reality is, if any of the guys that were on this team were as good as Malik Neighbors, we wouldn't have had to draft Malik Neighbors. Because you had Slayton, you had Robinson, you had Hyatt.
They were desperate when they got Malik Neighbors, so you'd have to say now that they don't have him, they're desperate once again. Maybe they have a little bit better of a running game after, losing Barkley. They didn't really have a running game. Scadaboo has kind of brought some life back to that. But one thing I do want to touch on, I know this isn't really the Giants situation, but we've seen other teams with quarterbacks, kind of their best number one receiver leaves or is off the team or no longer on the team for whatever reason. Obviously, it's an injury in this case. Sometimes they've almost become a more complete and more diverse offense because they don't have to force the ball or try and get the ball to one guy 10-plus times a game. I think we've seen it with Josh Allen in Buffalo once Diggs left. I think we saw it with Baker Mayfield in Cleveland once Odell left Cleveland. I don't think this is that scenario, but just bringing that topic into point, what's your opinion on that versus, obviously, Jaxson Dart's not either of those guys. He can hope to become those guys, but maybe just taking whatever's there instead of, okay, I'm always looking at Malik Neighbors first, which is normally a good thing. But
I don't think Jaxson Dart fell into that trap. To be fair, only saw for a quarter and a half. Look, that sounds good. It feels good. The Giants went on to win a Super Bowl when Tiki Barber retired, and they traded Jeremy Shockey, and they got those guys out of there. So there's some Giants history you could point to. Reality is the Giants are less explosive. The Giants are less talented, and they're down their best offensive player. We can convince ourselves that that's going to open it up. I don't believe so.
I'm also putting it out there that that's not what I think, but I just wanted to bring that discussion up because it's an interesting one to have.
I, again, can only judge off what I've seen. Giants played 2.5 quarters without Malik Neighbors yesterday. I watched the All-22 film. This Giants offense doesn't scheme people open. When they do, it's very rarely. We're going to see. I don't think it's going to be looking very good. I hope it does. Hopefully Jaxson Dart can elevate. But I would prefer my rookie quarterback in his second game in the NFL has Malik Neighbors. That's the side of the fence I'm going to stand on.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's arguing that.
Yeah.
For sports,
some people in the chat think the offense is going to be better now.
Really?
More diverse?
I don't know.
More creative?
I mean, listen, I see that argument because we've seen instances of that, but I think that Malik Neighbors, difference maker for the Giants, and we're dealing with a quarterback in his second game. That was Josh Allen in the Diggs thing. He had been in his fifth, sixth season in the NFL. He's MVP caliber player. So a little different than Jaxson Dart in his second career game. But
Eli Manning, Hall of Famer. I don't know. We'll see. I hope you all are right that believe this is going to benefit the Giants. I do not. I don't think taking away your best player is ever going to make you better. Just my opinion. For sports, my man. Good to see you back in the building yesterday. Salute for you, my man. We appreciate all the love you showed. Drew Phillips gets my game ball. He locked it down. Bounce back week for Drew Phillips. He had not been good over the past 2 weeks. He was good in...
It's just week 3. It was back and forth. Because week 2, he was pretty good against CD.
Yeah, up and down, I would say, in week 2. A lot of positives, some negatives as well. I think he was targeted 15 times and allowed 11 catches. But he made some nice plays. Week 3 against the Chiefs, he was not good. Yesterday, he was very good. He was graded out as the best player on the Giants defense yesterday. He was sticky in coverage. The Chargers are a team that has 2 good slot receivers, and Ladd McConkey and Keenan Allen. I thought Andrew Phillips played some damn good football yesterday.
Yeah, had the big interception when the Chargers tried to run a rub route, and they ended up picking off their own guy. Not an easy catch, falling backwards, low pass, so that was a big play for the Giants as well. He seemed to have a little bit of a nose for the football, second pick on the year. you need guys like that because we've seen Paulson Adebo drop multiple interceptions this season. We haven't seen Deontay Banks make a play or make an interception. So you need someone in the secondary who's going to cause turnovers because those help shift the game, give the offense good field position, especially when you're dealing with a rookie quarterback. It's big.
I agree. Cody, what's up, Beast? Not a fan of the owner, John Mara, but Mr. Mara is still human. I wouldn't want this for anyone. Prayers for Mara and his family. Absolutely. Absolutely. Prayers for the Mara family. Prayers for the Mara family. We're all rooting for you. We're all praying for you. Marty Malela, $20 super chat. Shout out to Marty. Give me some double M's in the chat. Marty's killing it. Malik Neighbors and Mr. Mara, every Giants fan is praying for you to get 100% soon. 100% agree. And 100% right there with you. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It really is. Nathan, my man, what's up, brother? $10 super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel, my man. This Malik injury may be a blessing in disguise. I'm hoping this forces him to rest and get all these lingering injuries healed up. Wishing the best for him. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Go ahead and get that toe worked on. If you need surgery on the toe, go and do that. I just wish he was healthy. That's all I really have to say on that. I wish he was healthy. He's an elite football player. I'm worried if he'll ever be the same football player. ACL injuries are not kind. It's usually a year-plus injury. And we have now lost a year of the prime of Malik Neighbors.
On his rookie contract.
Yeah.
With Jaxson Dart. Not great. I didn't even think about it from the toe perspective, but I wouldn't be surprised if a report comes out like that down the line that he had a second thing to get that cleaned up as well. Hopefully just takes his time in his rehab, comes in ready to play next year, maybe able to have somewhat of a normal offseason given it happened kind of early in the season. That way he doesn't have to come back in the middle of the season and then also, in a way, lose that next season as well, not being 100% ready to go. But definitely not a good thing either.
Not at all. We got 400 people watching. If you could, please hit that thumbs up icon. If everybody could take 5 seconds to click that thumbs up icon, we would really, really appreciate it. Skylar, what up, man? Appreciate the love, bro. Will they kill the turf monster? Too many ACLs. You'd hope so. You'd hope so. It's a logical thing to do, so probably means the Giants won't do it. It's tough. You share a stadium. 17-plus games, plus preseason. But, yeah, I mean, you would think the New York Giants and the Jets would want to do what is best for their players.
So what actually is the main reason for having turf over grass? It's easier and cheaper to maintain?
Easier, cheaper to maintain. There's always a game there. It's one of the only stadiums that hosts 2 teams, concerts, events in the off season. Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to try and think about saving dollars when it definitely hurts the team when your best players are injured and not able to play. So I don't know. I'm surprised. I know they're not the only one. I think what's any idea on the split between how many are grass? I think most of them are turf. Most of the NFL stadiums.
Yeah, there's a lot of turf, but there's also some grass as well. Man. Yeah, I don't know if anything will ever push them to go to grass, but not great. Not great. Shout out to everybody that has super chatted on today's show. Every super chat we will pop up on the screen. We do have 3 segments to get into on today's video. We'll go over my winners and losers from the Giants' Week 4 win against the Chargers. We'll then go over my report card for Jaxson Dart in his first start, as I have watched the All-22 multiple times at this point. And then we will close out today's show with Malik Neighbors replacements. Nobody's going to replace Malik Neighbors, but I do believe the Giants, and it would be in the best interest of Jaxson Dart to go and make a move at wide receiver. I hear the argument for not spending picks. I hear the argument for using those picks to build in the future. Your future is in at quarterback. You should be developing this quarterback to the best of your ability, and getting another receiver, I believe, personally, helps Jaxson Dart. Shout out to Craig. Shout out to Ray. Both them sending $5 super chats. We'll roll through those right now. If you haven't yet, click that thumbs up icon. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. M. Breezy. What's up, M. Breezy? Craig, what up, my man? Appreciate you being here, brother. $5 super chat. Thank you. GM needs to go. Didn't address the wide receiver 2 or the interior offensive line in the offseason. Have the worst wide receiver 2 in the league that they gave $12 million, who drops balls. Look, man, how many times did you guys hear me say it this offseason? The New York Giants are a Malik Neighbors injury away from being in wide receiver hell. So agreement is what I am in with you when it comes to wide receiver. I didn't think the Darius Slayton move was all that good either. So I did not love the lack of attention that the wide receiver room got this offseason. I agree with that. When it comes to the interior offensive line, yeah, not much improvement there either. Greg Van Roten brought back. John Michael Schmitz brought back, as was John Runyon. I don't think that Joe Schoen has been a great GM. There's been moves I've liked. There's been moves I've understood. There's been moves that I get why he did it. I've celebrated some moves, but if you've been watching this channel for a while, you kind of know how I feel about the way that Joe Schoen has built this team. 1,000 videos on the channel from last year saying I thought he should have got fired. So, yeah.
Ray.
What up, Ray? Hot take. What do you think if we traded Banks for Tyreek Hill? Deontay Banks for Tyreek Hill. Miami needs some corner help, and we need wide receiver. Defenses need to plan week in and week out for. So, yeah, I'd love to trade Deontay Banks for Tyreek Hill. The Miami Dolphins would never do that deal. The Dolphins would never trade Tyreek Hill for Deontay Banks. Would they trade Tyreek Hill? Maybe. Should the Giants trade for Tyreek Hill? I think the player's really good. I think that that's probably the best wide receiver that is available. Do I want Tyreek Hill with a young Jaxson Dart? Has Tyreek Hill been a good teammate to Tua? Tyreek Hill's really good. I think Tyreek Hill at one point was the best player in football. I think Tyreek Hill would really help this Giants offense. I would stay far away from Tyreek Hill.
I'm not sure the Giants have a culture that's ready to take on a guy like that. You see a team that competes for championships year after year, and guys will go there. They'll realize they'll see what everyone else does, and they kind of just, for lack of a better word, just focus, shut up, and play. They know that everyone's committed towards working towards the same goal. Giants have a mix of veterans and young players, but I think they're still trying to establish in year 4 that culture under Brian Daboll, trying to get that ingrained in all these players' heads. And I just think that bringing in a guy like Tyreek is a little too volatile right now for that culture that they're trying to build, and for all the reasons we cited about what's going on in Miami right now.
I thought you made great points. Giants aren't ready for a Tyreek Hill. I believe that the Giants are in a rebuild. I think it's pretty obvious what they're doing. I don't think a team in a rebuild should trade for a 31-year-old Tyreek Hill that's publicly talked about retirement soon, has off-the-field issues, and doesn't seem to be really liked by his teammates. I don't know. Hell of a player.
Shout out to Ray, though. I saw in the chat, first-time super chatter, long-time watcher, so we appreciate your support.
Ray, we appreciate you, bro. Shout out to you, my man. Thank you for being a real one. Let's go Giants. Thank you, Ray. Christopher, $20 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Neighbors injury. I feel like from a humbling and mental state of the game, This could be good for him. His ACL was bound to happen with his play style like Derrick Rose. Not every player should be a slam dunk or you running full speed. I don't necessarily agree to that extent. I don't think that anybody. Malik Neighbors is great because of the way Malik Neighbors plays football. I don't want him to change anything about his game. It was a freak injury, and that's kind of all I really have to say about it.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday after the game was over and we got off from the stream. It wasn't any sort of crazy move or play he was trying to make. All he was doing was trying to jump up and go make a play on the ball. That's a play that he does 40 times, 10, 20, however many times within a game, day after day in practice. It wasn't anything, some sort of crazy move where he put so much pressure on his knee. It just was a freak thing, gave out. Who knows if the turf helps, doesn't help, but I don't think that Malik should change anything about the way he plays. It's not like a quarterback putting his body on the line recklessly. I think it was just a normal play for any wide receiver to make, and hopefully comes back better, stronger, and doesn't happen again in his career.
Yep, that's where I'm at. Christopher, again, $5 super chat. Salute to you, brother. If everything Daboll pushed for turns to benefit, turns to bend the team, maybe he should be our GM. Sincerely, Joe wants to hang out to dry so often. Yeah, look, I put out that video. I stand by everything I said. I don't like the way that I thought Joe Shane kind of in the front office has somewhat separated themselves from Brian Daboll. Look, will we ever know 100% sure that Joe Shane wanted X and Daboll wanted Y? No, we've got it on pretty good authority though. We kind of told you in the draft cycle that GM wanted this guy, coach wanted this guy. I
think that's going to happen in a football team. You don't love that it gets out like that. You don't have like a united front. It's almost like parenting a kid a little bit. You want to kind of discuss those things with each other and let everyone know that you're on the same page and not the other way around. But they both feel the pressure, and they know that there's a chance that one or both of them loses their jobs this offseason. And I think they're both kind of just positioning themselves, depending on which way this thing goes, to potentially hold on to their job and not be seen as a package deal. Listen, sports are like anything else. People are going to kind of politic themselves and look out for themselves, number one. Even though they came in as a package deal, they both want to keep their job regardless. So I wish it wasn't that way. I think that goes to a larger extent to the culture thing we just talked about of the organization as a whole, everyone being in lockstep, committed towards one goal, working towards the same thing. But whether he likes it or not, Joe Shane's better off with Jaxson Dart being good, and that'll be a higher likelihood of him keeping his job.
Agreed. 400 people watching. If you could, please hit that thumbs up icon. If people continue to super chat, we'll continue to answer those on screen. We also have 3 segments to get into on today's show. Winners and losers, my report card for Jaxson Dart, and Malik Neighbors replacements. If you could, please hit that thumbs up icon, and we could dive into this first segment if we want.
Let's do it.
Bronx Boys has got to give Shane credit for allowing Dabes to make the call. I agree. Agreed. RB James says pray for Leak. I agree. Prayers for Leak. Prayers for John Mara. Craig says grass isn't an option, unfortunately, for MetLife. When they tried grass in the old stadium, Jason Sehorn destroyed his knee anyway. Corey says, I agree with that. I saw what was going to get hurt before long. There's a 99.9% chance you get hurt playing football. That's just the way that the business rolls. All right, Let's dive into it. We got winners and losers coming out of this ball game. Essentially, people I thought that played great, people I thought that deserved kudos, people that I thought maybe didn't play all so great. We'll dive into that. Smack that thumbs up icon if you could. We're 50 likes away from 300. If we can get to 300 likes, that'd be dope. All right, we ready? Shout out to CTM in the building. Shout out to everybody watching. Caleb Taylor, what's up? What up, what up, what up? All right, let's do it. Coming up on today's show, I'm going to give you my biggest winners and losers coming out of the Giants' Week 4 win against the Los Angeles Chargers. Before we do, though, if you're proud of the way that your New York Giants played on Sunday, hit that thumbs up icon. Victory Monday. It's been a lot of fun. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. My biggest winners and losers coming out of the Giants' first win of the season. Look, nobody's a loser. It's just the name of the segment. Don't be weird about it. Players that I thought did not play their best. Let's start with the winners, though, as the Giants got their first win. Biggest winners, the Giants' pass rush. The Giants won this football game because of their pass rush. The Giants were in this game because of their quarterback, but it was the pass rush that shut the door and gave them an opportunity to win this football game. Abdul Carter, welcome to the National Football League. 8 pressures for Abdul Carter. He was unblockable. 5 QB hits, 3 hurries. Brian Burns, you're one of the best players in football, my man. Another sack. 5 on the year, 7 more pressures, 3 more QB hits, and 3 QB hurries. Kayvon Thibodeaux's having his best year in the National Football League. Another sack for him, 5 more pressures, 2 QB hits, 2 hurries. When Joe Shane put this football team together, it was with the idea and the vision that they could do what they did on Sunday against the Chargers. 27 pressures, 2 sacks, 13 QB hurries, 12 QB hits. If the Giants were going to win football games this year, it was going to be because of those 3 guys, including Dexter Lawrence, who was awesome as well, had the pick, almost went all the way to the crib. The sign of being dominant is being able to make other people submit when they are having a tough time. Chargers were without their right tackle. Joe Alt got hurt early. They were a wounded animal. And the New York Giants, they pounced on their prey. Brian Burns, he has 20 pressures on the season, 8th most in the NFL. Abdul Carter, 19 pressures on the season, 9th in the NFL. Kayvon Thibodeaux, he has 17 pressures this year. He's tied for 13th. The Giants have 3 players in the top 13 of pressures in all of the National Football League. Brian Burns should be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. He has been awesome this year. Abdul Carter, the sacks aren't there yet. He had one yesterday. Justin Herbert threw it away. He had another one yesterday. Justin Herbert threw it away. That multi-sack game is coming. And Kayvon Thibodeaux keeps on stacking good performance after good performance. These 3 guys have been awesome this year. Let's stay on the defensive side of the ball. I got Andrew Phillips as another major winner coming out of that game against the Chargers. Andrew Phillips was not good against the Chiefs. He had some really nice plays against the Cowboys. And he had some plays where he didn't look so good. But he was lights out against the Chargers. The highest graded player on the Giants, according to Pro Football Focus. A 92.3 grade. A 91.8 coverage grade. He allowed just 2 catches on 7 targets for a total of 10 yards. He also had 3 pass breakups and 1 interception as well. Had the interception that was huge. He was able to set the Giants up with great field position. It was a bounce back week for Drew Phillips. He was good. He was tested as well. This is a Chargers team that has a couple of good slot receivers in Ladd McConkey, as well as Keenan Allen. Drew Phillips showed up in a major way. I got Darius Musow as a Week 4 winner as well. When I went back and watched the tape, I thought Darius Musow played a heck of a football game. Is he going to be able to do the things Micah McFadden did? No. But there were things that popped off the page to me. An overall PFF grade of 78.7, 6 total tackles, had a huge tackle for loss, was able to tack on a quarterback hit, and had 3 stops. A stop is considered a tackle that results in a negative play for the Chargers. He had 3 of those. That tackle for loss he had against the Chargers on that screen pass to Omarion Hampton on 1st and 20, I thought that was a huge play in this ball game. If Darius Musow does not make that tackle, Omarion Hampton is off to the races. Salute to 53. I thought he had a heck of a football game. I know stats weren't sexy. Didn't throw for 500 yards. Didn't throw for 5 touchdowns. Jaxson Dart is a winner coming out of this football game, as he was a winner in his first start in the National Football League. He did what was needed to be done to win the football game. And that's all you really want and all I need out of the quarterback position. When throws were there, he made them. When they weren't, he didn't put the ball in harm's way. When he had to make plays with his legs, he did that. He was the gas on top of the fire of the New York Football Giants yesterday. He gave everybody a sense of belief. He's a leader, and he led. The thing that stood out to me most was his ability to be successful on 3rd downs. That's the sign of a quarterback that is good. Can you move the sticks when the sticks need to be moved? 6 of 13 on 3rd downs yesterday. He had 4 completions through 49 yards. He had 5 carries for 25 yards. I believe he picked up 5 first downs with his legs as well. So I'm pumped up about the way he played on 3rd down. I'm also pumped up about the way that he took care of the football. You got to value the rock. You got to value possessions. He didn't have one turnover-worthy play yesterday, meaning he did not put the ball in harm's way one time. 0 turnovers. 0 turnover-worthy plays. Yes, there was a fumbled snap. I believe that goes on the quarterback because you're the leader. You take the blame. It's going to happen. Rep it out this week. Get better because of it. And continue to try to play mistake-free football. Another major winner for me coming out of week 4 is head coach, Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll pushed his chips into the center of the table this week and said, I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm playing my final hand. I'm playing my final card. All I got left to save my job is Jaxson Dart. Whose decision was it? It was my decision. I'm the football coach. This win meant something to Brian Daboll. Go watch his post-game press conference. He was popping his shit. He was talking with a little bit of swag. He was kind of looking at the beat reporters like, remember the decision I made? Looks like it worked out just fine. I have questions about if Brian Daboll's a good football coach. But I like the man Brian Daboll, and I'm happy that he won that football game. He was out on an island by himself saying Jaxson Dart is ready. It was my decision to play Jaxson Dart. I did it because I thought it was best for my football team. And his rookie quarterback showed up in a major way. Hopefully, this is the start of something special. 2 bonus winners. The special teams boys. The specialists. Jamie Gillen had a hell of a game. My man Jude did what he had to do. 3 phases of football need to be played at a high level to win a football game. And the Giants were good in all 3 phases yesterday. We'll get to the losers coming out of this game, but I want to say thank you to every single person that watches this channel and has subscribed to this channel. We crossed over 87,000 subscribers yesterday. We are less than 13,000 subscribers away from getting to 100K. If you want free videos, multiple videos, every day on your Giants, hit that sub button right now. The player I was most frustrated with in yesterday's game for the Giants, Deonte Banks. Deonte Banks. I'm just done. I'm just done with Deonte Banks. I don't think he covers well. He's consistently getting flagged, and he's consistently getting beat as well. Gave up that touchdown to Quentin Johnston yesterday, got beat off the press, and then he jogged. He jogged his way back into the picture. Gets called for a flag. Allows 2 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown. Had a PFF grade of sub 59. I'm just over the Deonte Banks experiment. It's one thing to get beat. It's another thing to have shit effort. He's just not a high effort player. There were multiple times he didn't come up in the run game and make a tackle. There were other times he didn't have outside contain. But it was the way that he jogged back into the play after getting roasted for a touchdown. I'm just over it. I'm over it. And take him off kickoff. He doesn't deserve to be the kick returner. And I promise you this. He is going to cost the Giants at kick return. Maybe he has a touchdown one game. Maybe he has a couple good returns. There's going to be a time that he costs you. And he puts the pill on the ground. Don't wait to make the change before the mistake happens. Going to stay in the secondary for the New York Giants when it comes to losers. This one is frustrating as well. Tyler Nubin, he was not good versus the Chargers yesterday. He has not been good this season. And for being a second-round pick, he has been extremely underwhelming. 2 more missed tackles for Tyler Nubin. Like, he doesn't just miss tackles, he takes terrible angles as well. And when he's targeted in coverage, he gives up reception after reception after reception. You're not a fast player. You don't pursue the football well. You're not a good tackler. And you don't make impact plays in coverage. Tyler Nubin has played 17 games for the Giants. He has 0 interceptions and 1 pass breakup. He has touched the football 1 time in 17 games in coverage. And he's consistently a reason why the New York Giants are giving up chunk plays. These are some screen grabs from that Omarion Hampton 55-yard touchdown run. The way he pursues the football here is horrible. His pursuit, his angles are terrible. And then he just gets dusted because he's not an explosive athlete. Didn't even have a chance to get him on the ground because the angle and the pursuit he took was terrible. And this isn't the first time this year he has taken a horrible angle. Ryan Dunleavy, who covers the Giants, says, Tyler Nubin told me he stood up in front of his teammates and took accountability for a bad angle on a TD run by the Cowboys. It's important for him that guy's own mistakes. It just happened again on that touchdown run. I'm hoping that there's still juice left with Tyler Nubin. It's getting late early. It's getting late early. To the offense. I'm mainly saying this because of one play. He also didn't really do anything all that great in the passing game. Giants didn't throw for that many yards. But Wan'Dale Robinson almost cost the Giants the football game yesterday. You had an opportunity after your quarterback bought time, made a play, threw a catchable pass into your hands, and you dropped it. You dropped the cheese. You dropped the dagger. That was a moment we should have all celebrated as the first dagger of the Jaxson Dart era and you dropped the football, that could have cost the Giants the game. Luckily, the defense stepped up. Catch the damn ball. You're a professional receiver. It is your job to catch the football. Squeeze it. Squeeze it. You're lucky it didn't cost you. Because you, in this picture, would have been all over every single media outlet. That's why we don't live off of results. It's process over results. Just because that drop didn't cost you didn't mean it was awful. Giants need to make a move at receiver. I really do believe it. I really do believe it. I understand the idea that they can't afford to trade future picks. They can't afford to go let Jaxson Dart play 13 more games with this receiver room. That will be detrimental to his progression and development. I also have Bobby Okereke as a loser from Sunday's win, I do not think Bobby Okereke has had a good season this year. I don't know if Bobby Okereke is the same player that we want him to be. He was the lowest graded player on defense for the Giants yesterday that played more than 45 snaps. These grades are on a scale of 1 to 100. Total grade, 37. Run defense grade, 33. Tackle grade, 28. Coverage grade, 49. And he only had one tackle that was deemed a negative play for the New York Football Giants. Giants' run defense has been terrible. It's not all Bobby Okereke's fault, but you're the middle linebacker. Giants' defense allowed 96 rushing yards over expected, the second worst mark in a game this season. 7 missed tackles. And Omarion Hampton had 85 yards after contact. So 96 rushing yards over expected and 85 yards after contact. Giants have to tackle better. Giants have to pursue the football better. Giants have to defend the run better. They simply do. I understand there's going to be speed. Marshall, he has so many tackles this year. If the only thing that mattered was raw tackle stats, we need to test ourselves to determine what's better, more tackles or impact plays. Bobby Okereke is not making impact plays right now. I don't want to call these guys losers. I don't want to call anyone on the Giants losers. 2 guys that I think did not play great yesterday. Jermaine Illuminor did not play a good football game yesterday. I love Jermaine Illuminor. He's a really good right tackle. He didn't play his best. Had a really tough matchup yesterday. Allowed 2 sacks, 3 pressures. Greg Van Roten, he didn't play great either. 2 sacks, 2 pressures allowed for Greg Van Roten. Both those guys, they got to step up. They got to be better. They do. Because you got a game this Sunday that you can go and win. You can get to 2-3. You're favored. You're the favorite. Heading down to the boot. If you want to beat the Saints, hit that thumbs up icon. And make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. What were you trying to do there? No. Make sure you reset the base layer. Shout out to everybody in the building. Oh, man, Mr. Rick. Oh, Mr. Rick. Give me some chas down in the chat. Cha. We got a 3-point goal. Cha. Bang. Shout out to Mr. Rick. We appreciate you, my man. He was at the game, enjoying it. Got to see the Jaxson Dart debut. We love you, Mr. Rick. We love you, man. Says, did not see the stream. Stream was at the game. Is it too late to get in the duck race? So excited, Mr. Green. I told you all week, Giants win. He did. He did. Mr. Rick said it. He said he's got that feeling. I wish I would have listened and put the house. Wish we would have put Andrew Connell's paycheck on Giants money line. We would have been making a lot more money this week.
Damn, I missed out. I missed out big time.
Good to see you, Mr. Rick. Love when you stop by. Glad you got to enjoy the win. Glad you stayed the whole time. Glad you stayed the whole time. Life's a lot better when the Giants win. Sad that I live like that.
I think a lot of people are in that same boat. It's been an extended run of wishing life was better because the Giants haven't won enough games for a long time.
Agreed. We love you, Mr. Rick. Tell Mrs. Cha I said hello. Craig, again, $5 super chat. Salute to you, Craig. I think we already hit this one, yeah. Shout out to y'all, 362 people in the building. If you could, please hit that thumbs up icon. Prof Cammon. I don't know which way to say it. What's up, P? My game ball goes to Carter. He wrecked that backfield. We kind of got a little sneak peek of what Abdul Carter could be. I mean, I get it was against backup tackles, but he made it look like those guys shouldn't be in the NFL. He was awesome.
Justin Herbert had a long day yesterday. Carter was the one who I think pressuring him the most, but he was getting it from all sorts of guys across the Giants D-line. And Carter would have had probably 2 sacks if Herbert didn't just get rid of the ball and intentionally ground it twice. So I think clearly you're able to say that's probably his best performance so far as a Giant in his career this season. And hopefully he can do more of that. And I don't know what the snap count looked like as far as I know the game before against the Chiefs, they played him at linebacker a little more and not as much on the line. But looked like he was on the line, looked like he was rushing the passer more, and it showed because he was in the backfield.
He looked good, man. He really did. Trying to find this stat on Abdul Carter. He played 41 snaps off the edge. The most he had. 9 versus the Chiefs, 37 versus the Cowboys, 21 versus the Commanders.
9 versus the Chiefs is disgusting. So did they use him at linebacker at all?
Against the Chiefs?
No, yesterday.
Yesterday. He played 41 snaps off the edge. He played how many in total? Let's see. Let me see.
But I mean, the fact that that number is down shows that a guy, and you see a guy like Muasau step up. The Giants don't have to play Carter.
Getting him back was a hidden storyline.
They shouldn't have to play him at linebacker at all. But the fact that a guy steps up and plays well means that they don't even have to think about putting him there. They can put him on the edge and let him wreak havoc in the backfield like he did.
42 snaps on the D-line, 4 in the box.
All right.
40 on the outside, 1 over the tackle, 1 in the B-gap.
I'm all for sprinkling in, putting him at different spots just to keep the defense on their toes, but he should be getting 90+% of his snaps on the edge.
Justin Herbert was 2 for 8, plus an intentional grounding when Abdul Carter pressured him. One of the completions was 3rd and 5 that was short of the sticks.
Okay, so basically one time when Carter was in the backfield, Herbert was able to do something good, and that's a lot of times in the backfield as well. So impacting the game, making a difference. I think both rookies we talked about showed why the Giants picked them in the first round yesterday.
I agree.
Moving on to Rich Rod. Trade for Tyreek Hill, 2 seasons buffer for Leak at full speed.
Trade for Tyreek Hill? No. I don't think the Giants should trade for Tyreek Hill. I don't. I like your idea of going to trade for a receiver. I don't think it should be Tyreek Hill, though. I don't. For sports, what's your thoughts on signing C.J. Gardner-Johnson? I have no interest in signing C.J. Gardner-Johnson. None. The Eagles traded him after they won a Super Bowl, and the Texans cut him 3 games into the year. He's having a hard time sticking around somewhere. Giants don't need any of that. Lou, who should we pick up for wide receiver? Hodgins, OBJ, Olave? We're going to get into some wide receiver targets coming up in a little bit. I did not include Chris Olave.
It'll be interesting.
Is interesting. He has a long concussion history.
Yeah, he's one concussion away from thinking about his future in football. I think the number is like 5 or something since he's been in the NFL. So maybe you wouldn't want to give up too much if you were to acquire a guy like that. And he's, for New Orleans, one of their best players. So I doubt they'd want to give him up for anything more than a significant return. So that may not just match up for the Giants and the Saints there. But he's a hell of a player, and he'd be the kind of guy that would help a guy like Jaxson Dart in his rookie season kind of develop a guy that can win a one-on-one matchup and get open. So the fit makes sense from a football perspective, but from a roster-building perspective, I'm not sure that it makes sense for the Giants.
He is also has a team option for 2026.
Okay.
So
not a rental?
Not necessarily a rental. I assume if you trade for him, you'd try to work out a long-term deal as well. The injuries scare me. He's a damn good player, though.
I think you did a video a while back when I first started here about potentially trading for Chris Olave and the Giants in the offseason. So who knows? Maybe it could happen, maybe not. But like we said, talk about some of the other targets later on in a segment we're doing. Potential additions to the wide receiver room for the Giants.
Let's do it. Trips, what up, Beast? Any wide receiver trade candidates? Well, we got a video coming up. Stay tuned, Beast. Stay tuned, Beast. Probably in about 30 minutes, we're about to go over my Jaxson Dart report card from this ball game, and then we'll get into the wide receiver spot. For sports, what up? Inside linebacker trader signing. I don't think they'll trade for an inside linebacker. I think they've kind of made their moves at inside linebacker. They brought in the veteran from the Texans. Flanagan Fowles played yesterday. Thought he was all right. As long as Okereke and Musa are healthy, I don't think many more moves are coming. All right, let's jump into
Jaxson Dart report card.
Let's do it. Mr. Rick, you'd be correct. It's weird. No one asked us about Daniel Jones today.
Yeah.
Weird.
That's right.
Weird how that works.
I don't know. It's almost like he lost or threw an interception, or the Giants won. Jaxson Dart looked like the real deal. I don't know. Could be any of these.
It's weird.
things,
All
really.
the people that were asking me about him in week 1, week 2, and week 3, I don't see them asking me about him today. Why is that?
I don't know. It's interesting.
Mr. Rick, do you know where they're at? Is our chat not open to everybody today? I haven't seen anyone ask me about him.
Still looking for David from yesterday, who wagered Marshall $100 that he would not, speak negatively about Dart before the end of the game?
According to the guy, said I would be ripping Jaxson Dart by the end of the game.
And it was crickets towards the end of the game.
Yep. First and 15, game on the line, throws a duck into double coverage to lose. We've been looking for you, buddy. We've been looking for you. All right, coming up on today's show, going to try something a little bit new here. I wish we could show film. I wish we could show all 22 tape. Fortunately, we do not own the rights, and I am not allowed to show it. So I'm going to do my best telling you what I saw from the all 22 tape from Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart is 1-0 as a starting quarterback for the New York Giants. And on today's video, I'm going to tell you what I saw when I sat down and watched the film. My report card for Jaxson Dart. If you want a video like this, though, after every single game where we only talk Jaxson Dart and how he played, the good, bad, and ugly, hit that thumbs up icon. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Let's get into it. My report card for Jaxson Dart in his NFL debut against the Los Angeles Chargers. Unfortunately, we do not own the rights to the All-22 film, so I can't show you that. We'll show you some pictures, things that I saw, some good and some bad. We'll start with the good. The way that Jaxson Dart was able to move the chains and make plays on third down was a major green flag for me. I think a quarterback is defined off of a couple of different things. What do you do on third down, and how do you operate in the fourth quarter? We didn't see Dart throw the ball that much in the fourth quarter, but his number was called time and time again on third down, and he made play after play after play. Whether it was with his legs, when he needed to go and pick up a first down, whether he had to buy time behind the line of scrimmage, whether he had to throw the ball, it did not matter. Jaxson Dart found a way to be successful. He converted 6 first downs on third down. He was 4 of 6 on those downs, 49 yards, and he had 5 carries for 25 yards. One of my favorite plays was early on in the game where Jaxson Dart stood tall in the pocket. The Chargers brought 6. Then he evaded out of the pocket, escaped out of the pocket, rolled to his right, told Darius Slayton, like it was playmaker on Madden, to come back to the football, and he throws a seed on the right sideline. First down, Giants. Darius Slayton toe tap on a comeback route. Giants move the chains. I also love the way that Jaxson Dart would move up in the pocket. On this play, Jaxson Dart had to go and make a play. Third down. Goes through his progressions. 3rd and 13. When is the last time the Giants had a quarterback that could dig him out of 3rd and 13? You got one now. Look at the picture on the top left. Jaxson Dart hits the top of his drop at the 28-yard line. Then he steps up in the pocket and he throws the ball from the 32-yard line. Daniel Bellinger, wide open over the middle, puts the ball on his chest, catchable ball, able to maximize yards after the catch. Bellinger squeezes it, puts his foot in the ground, gets north and south. First down, Giants. Another play on third down that I want to highlight is what he did on 3rd and 5. Game on the line. Quarter number 4. 2:30 left in the ball game. Brian Daboll said after the game that Jaxson Dart told him they made an adjustment to this play. Theo Johnson's supposed to run through. He's supposed to keep on moving. But Dart said he saw something on film and told Theo on Saturday, day before the game, if we get this look, when we run this play, sit it down in between the hashes. That's preparation. That's setting you up for success. That's being ready so you don't have to get ready. Jaxson Dart essentially calls the game winner on the Saturday before the game. On time, on target, catchable. Theo Johnson, squeeze, tuck, first down Giants. Ball game. Big time stuff. Big time stuff there from Jaxson Dart. So I was pumped up about that. Loved the way he operated on third down. So that was awesome. Something that I think needs to improve because it wasn't all beautiful. Wasn't that much bad, to be honest with you, though. Take less sacks. Take less hits. Find a way to find that balance of I want to be a playmaker. I want to extend the play. I want to bring juice compared to I need to be smart. I need to not take hits. And I need to know when to throw the ball away. My biggest takeaway from the Jaxson Dart tape balancing when to be a playmaker versus throwing the ball away and living to play another down. He was sacked 5 times yesterday. And according to the experts at Pro Football Focus, they deemed 4 of those sacks were on him. They were his fault. He invited the pressure. He created the pressure by holding on to the football. Also, 6 pressures were also charged to Jaxson Dart. So I love the way he moves in the pocket, but knowing when to get rid of the ball, when to tuck it and run it, when to hang in there, when to escape, when to create. That can continue to improve. I don't need Jaxson Dart taking 10 hits. I don't need Jaxson Dart being sacked 5 times. Is it the end of the world? No. But it's something that can, and I believe, will improve as well. I have some more major takeaways to get into. But first, I got to give a huge shout out to our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. Shout out to Prize Picks. They've got an awesome deal running right now. When you play your first $5 lineup, you get $50 in lineups instantly. Shout out to Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. All you do is create a lineup, 2 to 6 players. Prize Picks sets a stat line for every single player. You pick more or you pick less. 2 to 6 players. I know it's football season. I know it's NFL season, but the Yankees have a playoff series coming up. And my good friend, Jack Lotteray, who covers the Boston Red Sox for Chat Sports, he sent this Prize Picks lineup in and says it's a can't lose Prize Picks lineup. Usually I tell you to roll with my picks. Today, telling you to fade the picks of Jack Lotteray because he's a biased Red Sox fan. And he's going to be wrong about this one, and he's going to be wrong about this one. Prize Picks is giving you, though, a nice discounted stat total for Max Fried at just 0.5 walks. They call that a much easier play when you see the green goblin right there. So shout out to Prize Picks. Support the show. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS. Promo code is CLNS. Play your first $5 lineup and get $50 in lineups instantly. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right. Another major success, I would say, for Jaxson Dart in his NFL debut with the New York Giants. He was very smart with the football. He valued the football. He valued possessions. He didn't put the ball in harm's way. Think about it like this, boys and girls. He was money on 3rd down, and he did not turn the ball over. What are 2 things you worry about with every quarterback, especially a young quarterback? Turning the ball over and not being good on 3rd down. 0 turnovers. I know there was a fumbled snap. Not the end of the world. Great job, Andrew Thomas, getting on top. This means a lot to me. 0 turnover-worthy plays. He did not put the ball in harm's way 1 single time. Very proud of that. Very proud of that. He took sacks, held on to the football. Didn't throw the ball in a double, triple coverage. Didn't throw the ball. Didn't throw any Stevie Wonders. Took care of the rock. Valued the possessions. That's big-time shit from your rookie quarterback. One more thing. And this was really only, I thought, 2, maybe 3 times. Really 1 time in specific. Trust your eyes. Trust your eyes. And maybe know what you want to do with the ball in situations like this one right here. I really only saw 1 play on film where I thought he didn't get a wide open receiver the football. Quarter number 4. You're up 21-18. 13 minutes left. 3rd and 14. You pick up this first down, you're getting close to dagger territory. Bo Collins is wide open at the top of the screen. He's running a stop route. What do you want to call it? Hitch, stop. He is open before he even starts to break on that route. That corner is bailing. That corner is not in a position to make a play on that ball. And the corner was in bail the whole time. He could have thrown that ball much earlier than the screen grab at this point. That's really the only time, though, I thought. There was a play before this where he had Darius Slayton on the right side running a post route that he could have potentially thrown. And there was another play where Theo Johnson ran an 8-yard out route on third, and I think it was 10. That was the play that Jaxson Dart tucked it and ran it, and he kind of evaded Derwin James and picked up that first down. He could have thrown that ball to Theo Johnson. But that right there, that play to Bo Collins, as I watched every play multiple times, was the only one that I thought he left yards on the table. He could have thrown that ball right when he hit his back foot, let it rip. He could have thrown him open. He was already open. It was the only one. So I'm not going to harp on that. There was a lot of good. A lot of good. I know he only threw for 100 and some yards. A lot of good. Some areas of improvement. But there was nothing that I saw where I was like, ugh, that was bad. That was ugly. There was nothing that was extremely bad from the tape that I saw. Very encouraging stuff for Jaxson Dart. I'll say this, though. It's going to get a lot harder for him. It's going to get a lot harder. Tape is out. Defenses will start to game plan. And you're without Malik Neighbors. And to serve you a cold serving of the truth right here, New York Giants offense sucked after Malik Neighbors got hurt. Giants offense had 6 drives in the second half without Neighbors. They punted 4 times, turned it over on downs, and scored 1 touchdown, which the drive started at the 3-yard line. Yardage totals on those 6 drives: 20 yards, 3 yards, the touchdown, 3 more yards, 21 yards, 45 yards, and 21 yards. The truth is, the Giants don't have any weapons on this offense that puts fear into a defense or defensive coordinator's heart without Malik Neighbors. Nobody defends a double team. Nobody has to be game planned for. Nobody bends the defense. Nobody changes what the defense is wanting to do. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be really, really tough. And Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka need to step it up. I think they need to do a better job of scheming people open. We talked about Jaxson Dart didn't leave many yards on the table. He didn't not get the ball to many open receivers. Again, there was one for sure, maybe another to Slayton, and Theo Johnson out route. He picked it up with his legs anyways. Credit to the Los Angeles Chargers. They're one of the best defenses in the league. Mentor's a hell of a DC. Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka have to do a better job now of scheming people open, because the Giants don't really have people that could just get open at this point. So Daboll and Kafka, up your game. Your rookie quarterback needs you. If you guys enjoyed today's video, where we take looks at film, we talk about film, and I just tell you what I saw when I sat down and watched the All-22 stuff, hit that thumbs up icon for me. Can we get to 1,000 likes on today's show? That'd be pretty cool. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. So what you can do there is change the L3. That signals when it's done. Change the graphic. You notice how we end every show, so it's like once you see a new graphic, that could be a cut point. Or you just roll to this, and that's why we script it. Cool. Shout out to y'all. Andrew, question for you. What would you grade Jaxson Dart's performance yesterday? A, B, C, D, or F?
I think let's see. We'll take it into context. He's a rookie quarterback making his first start against one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think I want to go A-. Got the win, most important thing. Stats don't jump off the page, and the Giants' offense has areas to improve, red zone namely, and I don't know how much of that's on him, how much of that's on the play calling. But it's hard to dock him anywhere, really. I mean, they won the game. He did what he needed to do, didn't put the ball in harm's way. I'm going to go A- because we don't want to give him a perfect grade. There's always room to improve, but it's about as good as anyone could have expected heading into the game.
Yeah. A-, B+, where I would fall. Thought he held on to the ball a little bit too long at times. Thought he was, I don't want to say trying to play hero ball, but trying to make plays. Because that's who he is as his core. He's a playmaker, man. That dude's got juice. And that's going to be a tough thing for him. But overall, man, I'm fired up. B+, A- is where I fall. I'm serious, guys. I didn't see many plays on the film where I was like, oh, we should have did this, should have did that, should have did this. No. There was one for sure. That ball should have been to Bo Collins. That ball should be, Dart hits his back foot, no reset, fires to Bo Collins on the left side. Giants move the chains. The play before, there was pressure in his face. Could have maybe thrown Darius Slayton open on that post route. Not docking him for that. Had Theo Johnson on a 3rd and 10, but he tucked it and ran and he got the first down. Those are the only 3 plays I thought that he could have been better with the football.
How about the fact that when the Giants needed a drive, he came through and made the plays when it mattered most? When's the last time a Giants quarterback did that? Fourth quarter. And I think we talked about this, and Smitty actually hopped in towards the end of the stream, is the Giants are getting to a close game late, and you're just getting that feeling in your stomach that something is going to go wrong. They're not going to make the play. They're going to turn the ball over, do something terrible, and just lose the game. That feeling definitely creeped into my gut. I imagine every Giants fan who's watched this team for the last 10 years where they've really become that's become their identity, felt that same thing. And he showed that that's not who he is. He's going to show up, do what we need to get the win, And that was refreshing. And I think he's slowly, him and some of the other young guys, Scadaboo, changing the mindset, the energy, and the vibes around this team. And they also looked like they had fun playing football yesterday, man. That's something you haven't seen from the Giants team in a long time.
Let's go. Shout out to my man, Rob Jigga. What's up, Rob? Shout out to you, bro. How you doing, man? Shout out to you, brother. $5 super chat says, how you feeling? In your opinion, do we see more of Hyatt or Collins now? Good to see the chat today. Let's go. Shout out to you, Rob Jigga. You're going to see a lot more of both of them. They're wide receiver 3 and wide receiver 4 now. Yeah, they have to play more. I mean, Jalin Hyatt was getting snaps in the first quarter. That was something that kind of popped off when I went back and watched the game.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe with Dart working with the backups more, he has maybe a little bit of more of a rapport with Hyatt than Wilson did working with the starters the whole offseason.
There was some chatter that Darius Slayton isn't fully healthy as well. Who knows?
I mean, if you're Jalin Hyatt, this is your opportunity, and maybe your last opportunity to get some snaps, show you can play in the NFL. Because right now, I don't know what his contract situation is, but if he was a free agent, some teams will pick him up to take a flyer on him, but no one's handing Jalin Hyatt a role in the NFL right now with what he's shown so far in his career.
We'll see if Jalin Hyatt's got any sauce. But yeah, I expect to see more Hyatt and more Bo Collins. Absolutely. Mr. Rick says, sell the ranch for a number 1 wide receiver. Well, lucky for you, Mr. Rick, we're about to dive in to how I think the New York Giants could potentially replace. I don't want anyone getting in their feelings because of that. No one's replacing Malik Neighbors. I think he's the 3rd best receiver in football. You don't replace that guy. But I think there's some ways for the Giants to potentially try and soften the impact of loss.
Yeah, to give up the farm, someone's got to be willing to take the farm. And right now, I don't think too many teams that have a number 1 are going to trade them 4 games into the season. And if they are, there's probably a reason why.
Yeah, you're looking for teams that are bad.
Yeah.
It's early.
So we'll see.
We'll see. Serene, $5 super chat. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Thank you, my friend. I sent you a pic from Neighbors' story during the FIFA World Cup Championship. FIFA World Cup complaining about not having the grass org made him take it down, though. Yeah, not great. Not great, my man. I get in a terrible mood every time I think about it. I do. My heart hurts for him. To be straight up with y'all, I'm scared shitless of what the repercussions are going to be for this offense and the negative effects that it could potentially have on Jaxson Dart. This time last week, Andrew Connell, we were talking about how Jaxson Dart has a good landing spot. All-pro left tackle, good right tackle, number one wide receiver. Not many guys do that.
Yeah, we saw what it looked like for a quarter. The Giants drove right down the field, picked up chunk after chunk after chunk, and got into the end zone. And we won't get to see a complete Giants offense for the rest of the season because they won't have Neighbors. And listen, football, there's injuries. Every team has guys get hurt. But I'd argue that Malik Neighbors is as important to the Giants as any player is to any team, outside of maybe the quarterback position. But
yeah, not good. Not good. Mr. Rick says, isn't Cincy hurting for a quarterback? Clickbait! Clickbait! That's clickbait! That's what everybody told me when I said the Giants should trade Russell Wilson to the Bengals, which was my opinion. Clickbait, Marshall. All you do is make clickbait. That's sometimes how I read your guys' comments when you call it clickbait. Push the glasses. That's clickbait, Mr. Marshall. That's clickbait. Why would we trade Russ? He just threw for 450 yards.
Sometimes you got to be 2 steps ahead.
God, did he look like shit yesterday when he came in.
Yeah, he was not ready to play. It's another thing. Like, the most disappointing thing about Russ that we've seen so far is, like, the veteran things that you'd expect him to do and be good at, like not throw the ball away in the red zone.
Your first snap when you
not,
get hit.
Yeah, not be ready to play when your number's called upon. I guess, to his credit, he's never had to be a backup before, but you're 13-year veteran. You got to be ready to play. Like, you have to be – that's why Dart's playing, because the things that you were supposed to be getting from a veteran that you may not get from a rookie, Russ wasn't doing. So there was no point in not just playing the rookie who was 13 years younger or more. I don't know the ages. More talented, arguably, physically, and brings a juice that we saw yesterday that just Russ did not have.
Good bait.
Show Jaxson Dart some love. If you thought the rookie played well yesterday, let's get those 6s down in the comments.
All right. Shout out to y'all. If you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up icon. Let's dive into our last segment of today's show. Some wide receiver targets for the New York Giants. Can Vinny Pip catch? Nah. Vinny Pip can't run no routes. Vinny Pip can't separate. Exactly right, CTM. I did the video because I knew the Jaxson Dart experiment was coming, and I thought it would be the best time to trade Russell Wilson while stock was highest. But I don't think anyone wants to trade for Russ. Trip says Marsh might have to get out there and run a couple of routes. Hey, if they're looking for an NAIA slot tight end, that's me. That's what I was. I can go out and catch some passes. I had a college recruiter once tell me, you've got a game similar to Aaron Hernandez. I didn't know how to take that.
Hopefully that's where the similarities end.
Yeah. Hopefully just the football field, I was comparable to Aaron Hernandez. That's fine. Check that depth chart too. It's a depth 2. I made it for the wide receiver. Let's just take a look at that real quick. Oh, Lordy. Yeah, hopefully the similarities are just on the field. Perfect. I am a stone cold killer, though. I'm a stone cold killer.
You said Stevie Wonders? I had never heard that one before.
Someone throws a Stevie Wonder? You never heard that?
I almost lost it behind back here. Oh, man.
That's what you do. You can't see. Throw Stevie Wonder.
Have you heard that conspiracy from Shaquille O'Neal that where he got in the elevator with Stevie Wonder and Stevie Wonder said, "Hey, Shaq, what's up?" I've heard that story. He's told it a few times on podcast or on TNT or whatever. So he believes Stevie Wonder can see.
I bet he can. I bet he can. All right, we ready? All right. What's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Coming up on today's show, can't believe we're having to do this video. Malik Neighbors replacements. No one's replacing Malik Neighbors. You don't replace a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL. But I believe the New York Giants need to make a move at wide receiver. Not to save the season, not to get to the playoffs, but for the development of Jaxson Dart. They cannot roll with the receiver crew that they have over the next 13 games. So we're going to go over some top replacements, which will be tough. You're not going to find anybody that does the things that Malik Neighbors has done on the football field. It's going to be big shoes to fill. Neighbors is one of the best in the business. He was on an unreal start to the year as well. There's now nobody on this Giants team that puts fear into a defensive coordinator's heart, that demands a double team. That's what Malik Neighbors did every time he touched the football. Every time he got on the football field, the defensive coordinator was like, "Where's one? Where's one? We got a double one. We got a double one." For good reason. He's that guy. And hopefully he can recover 110% from that ACL injury and be that guy going forward. Because this organization, we need it. Truth is, Giants have who they have. Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, Bo Collins, Gunnar Olszewski, and Jalin Hyatt. And we have 5 players on the active roster at receiver. With Neighbors going to IR, maybe they elevate someone from the practice squad. Maybe they go out and sign somebody. Maybe they make a move. And I hope they do make a move. The New York Giants playing these next 13 games with the current receiver room that they have would be detrimental to the development of Jaxson Dart. I'm not saying the Giants need to go out and trade for a wide receiver 1. They need to empty the treasure chest of future assets to go and get a wide receiver 1 right now to make the playoffs, save the season. It's not happening. The Giants need to go out and make a move for a wide receiver to help Jaxson Dart, to aid his development. Because what we saw on the football field after Malik Neighbors got hurt, that's reality for the Giants right now. And that reality, it was ugly. Giants had 6 drives in the second half without Neighbors. They punted 4 times. They turned it over on downs another time. And the only touchdown drive they had, it started at the Chargers' 3-yard line because of an interception. Giants have to go out and make a move at receiver to help Jaxson Dart continue to develop. So coming up next, we'll go over some Malik Neighbors replacements. But first, show them some love. Type those ones in the comment section. Man, it hurts. I hope he's going to be 100% okay. We need you. We need you, brother. One thing that may be slowing the Giants down for making a big trade is the fact that they are right up against that salary cap number. And also, they don't have the most picks as well. They don't have a 3rd-round pick this year. They used that pick to trade up for Jaxson Dart last year. They do have a 1st-rounder. They do have a 2nd-rounder. They do have a 4th, a 5th, and 3 6ths. So if they wanted to make a trade, they could, but It could be tough. Let's start with this. I think DJ Moore is a player that is going to be talked about here as a potential Malik Neighbors replacement. It just isn't really working out right now for him with the Chicago Bears. Rome Odunze has turned into the wide receiver 1 in Chicago. And with DJ Moore at 28 years old, he could be a player that the New York Giants potentially show some interest in. I know the New York Giants had interest in DJ Moore before he was traded from the Carolina Panthers to the Chicago Bears. Moore's a really good player. Not having a great year this year, but prior to this year, he had back-to-back 95 grab seasons where he put up almost 1,000 yards in Caleb Williams' first year in the NFL. And with Justin Fields, he put up 1,364 yards, 80 yards per game, and 8 touchdowns. DJ Moore is a really good player. This would be a blockbuster trade. If the Giants are going big game hunting and they're taking that swing for a wide receiver 1 this year and a wide receiver 2 into the future, I believe DJ Moore will be on that list. And I won't be shocked if they call the Bears. And I believe if they do call the Bears and say, would you be interested in a DJ Moore trade, they would respond with, are you interested in giving up Kayvon Thibodeaux? That's where I think the negotiations would start. I talked to my good friend Harrison Graham, the host of Chicago Bears Now here at Chat Sports, and he told me he thinks this could be the framework of a deal and mainly the meat and potatoes of a trade. So I'll ask you, would you make this trade? Would you trade Kayvon Thibodeaux to the Chicago Bears for the 28-year-old DJ Moore? Take the C to Joe Shane. Type A for accept. Type D for decline. I want to hear from all of the real ones in the comment section. I lean towards decline. I do. I lean towards decline on this one for a couple of different reasons. One, Kayvon Thibodeaux is starting to scratch that prime. He's putting together an all-pro year right now. I understand you're paying you are paying Abdul Carter a lot of money, but you're also paying Brian Burns a lot of money. But I like the idea of having 3 of those guys at an elite level. If the Giants have to pay Kayvon Thibodeaux, that's a good problem to have. I lean towards decline, though, because I just don't love the contract that DJ Moore is on. I like the player. I think he's a good player. I think he'd be a hell of a wide receiver, too, next to Malik Neighbors going into the future. But you guys see the cap hits on screen. I don't know if I want to pay those cap hits when DJ Moore is 30 years old and 31 years old and 32 years old. This is the first year of that 4-year, $110 million contract extension. DJ Moore's a damn good player. Kayvon Thibodeaux's starting to become a damn good player. And I just don't know if that's the right move for this team. I like the idea of getting a talented receiver, building around Dart. I don't like taking away one of the few strengths of this football team. So what about another superstar receiver? What about the cheetah, Tyreek Hill? I've been asked 27,500 times already. Marsh, should we go get Tyreek? No. The Giants should not go out and trade for Tyreek Hill. Is Tyreek Hill elite? Yes. Is Tyreek Hill one of the best receivers still in football? I think so. Was he once the best player in football? I think so. But at 31 years old, the baggage he brings, the lack of leadership, and what he does to a locker room, I'm just not interested in bringing him here. Look, don't mistake it. He's damn good. Back-to-back 1,700-yard season just 2 years ago. Last year playing with a garage band of quarterbacks. Put up 959 yards. But no. It's going to be a no for me, dog. I'm just not interested in trading premium draft capital for Tyreek Hill at this point. He's talked about retirement. I actually talked to him last year in person in January. I tried to convince him to play for the Giants. He said, look, I don't want to go anywhere. He wants to be in Miami. He's not thinking about playing in the NFL that much longer. So it's a no. It's a no for me, dog. This one, though, you have my attention. You have my attention, Mr. Jakobi Meyers, the number one wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders, a player that requested a trade just a couple of weeks ago, and a player that is going to be a free agent at the end of the season, a player that wants a contract extension that it does not seem like the Las Vegas Raiders are ready to give him. 6'2", 200 pounds, 28 years old, one of the more underrated receivers in all of football. I could be convinced that Jakobi Meyers is a strong trade target for the Giants. Is he an elite receiver? No. Is he a damn good wide receiver too? Hell yeah. 87 grabs for a stack last year and 4 touchdowns. 71 grabs for 800 yards before that, 8 touchdowns. 60 grabs for 800 yards the year before that for 6 touchdowns. Jakobi Meyers is a good football player. This is a yes for me. If the Giants can try to craft a deal to go and get Jakobi Meyers, I'd give him a 4th-round pick. Absolutely. I don't know if I'd give up a 2nd-round pick. What about Jakobi Meyers and a 4th going to the Giants and a 2nd going to Las Vegas? I could be interested in that. Then you sign Jakobi Meyers to an extension. And then Neighbors is your 1 next year. Meyers is your 2. And you continue to build. He gets open. He creates separation. He's got strong hands. Things that I'm all interested in for a young quarterback. I would 100% pursue Jakobi Meyers. So, I'd look at that. Would I look at Odell Beckham Jr.? Because that's what everyone wants to know. That's what everyone wants to talk about. That's what everybody wants to see. Marsh, can we bring Odell back? Can we bring Odellium back to the Giants? It'd be fun. It'd be a story. It'd be must-watch TV. But at 32 years old, and it pains my heart to say this, because this guy is one of my favorite players to ever play for this team, is there gas left in the tank for Odell Beckham Jr. at 32 years old? I fear, because I'm biased and I like him, and it's a 40-ounce brew of nostalgia, that the answer is no. There's not gas left in the tank. He was not good last year for the Dolphins. 9 receptions in 9 games. He has not been able to escape the injury bug. And my heart hurts for him for that. It'd be a feel-good story. It'd put butts in seats of MetLife. It would have people watching this game, this team. But does that matter? The question is, would it help Jaxson Dart? I don't know what the answer is to that. So I would do this. I'd give him a tryout. I'd see where he's at physically. I'd see how he worked out. And I'd sit him down. And I'd see where his head is at. If he looks good in the workout, his head's in the right spot, he's ready to rock and roll, his body is not failing on him, I wouldn't mind signing him to the veteran minimum. But he needs to be healthy. He needs to be in shape. He needs to be ready to play right away. And his head needs to be in it for the right reasons. And he needs to know you're brought here to help Jaxson Dart. Be a servant for 6. Can he do that? I'd love it. I'd love to see it. I love Odell Beckham. If he's ready to go, why not? A lot of questions he's got to have to answer. How about you guys answer this one? Should the Giants sign Odell Beckham Jr.? Type OBJ for yes. Type no. BJ for no. A couple more thoughts coming up in a second, but first, I got to give a major shout out to our proud sponsor, Prize Picks. Shout out to Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS. Play your first $5 lineup, and you'll get $50 in lineups ASAP. Prize Picks is the best daily fantasy sports app on the market. I play every game day, and I'm going to be ready to play for the MLB playoffs as well. I asked producer Jack Lotteray to send me a can't-lose Prize Picks lineup for the Yankees playoff series. And he said this is can't lose. He also said that, Marsh, you need to roll with my picks. I'm fading him. He's a biased Red Sox fan. So fade these picks, but do it at Prize Picks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineups. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Pick more, pick less, play Prize Picks. Some more trade targets at wide receiver. Rashad Bateman. I talked to my guy Joey Peterson, who hosts our Ravens channel here at Chat Sports, and he said they have a lot of love for Tez Walker, second-year wide receiver. And they almost traded Bateman this offseason. So far through 4 games, he's been somewhat out of the equation. I think Bateman's a good player. I don't think it costs an arm and a leg to go and trade for him. I like him. My guy Brett Alper, who covers the Titans here, he said Titans are a dumpster fire, maybe Calvin Ridley. I thought Calvin Ridley at one point was a damn good player. I think there could be some juice there. He's extremely overpaid at this point. Jeremy Chuggs covers the Texans. Told me Christian Kirk could be available. I don't think Christian Kirk is going to solve many problems for the Giants, but could be another option in the slot. And then Pop Douglas, Demario Douglas for the New England Patriots. Could make some sense. Good slot receiver. Great separation. Fallen out of favor in New England. I don't hate it. Some free agents you could look at. Isaiah Hodgins. He's on the practice squad for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You could sign him right now. To the Giants' active roster. Deontay Johnson is out there. He's a good player. He's a head case. He's bounced around the NFL. DJ Chark, once a really good player. Injuries have zapped him of that. Colin Johnson, once a Giant, always a Giant. And then Robert Woods. Do you see the picture I'm trying to paint here? It's slim pickings. It is slim pickings. It's going to be tough to go out and make a move to get a receiver that's really going to help this team. It is. It'll be tough. How do you do it? This is what I would do. I would try to trade for Jacoby Myers. I'd call up the Raiders, try to get that deal done. I understand the Giants aren't making the playoffs this year. This move's not about this year. This move is about developing your quarterback. I don't want to waste the first year of Jaxson Dart because he's trying to throw the football to Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton and Jalin Hyatt and Bo Collins. Jacoby Myers is a legit receiver. I try to do that. Then I'd give OBJ a workout. I see where he's at, body and mind-wise. If that doesn't go well, I'd sign Isaiah Hodgins to the active roster. That's what I would do. Try to go get Myers. See where OBJ is at. And then if none of those work, bring me Isaiah Hodgins off the practice squad for the Pittsburgh Steelers. None of these options are going to fill the void of Malik Neighbors. It sucks. It sucks. Maybe little Jordan Humphrey gets brought up off the practice squad. That's not really doing much either. Make sure you are following me on social media. Let's go Giants. What do you think, Connell? What do you think they should do?
I think that's a pretty solid plan. I think Myers could be a guy. I think he tops out as a wide receiver 2. You'd be asking him to be a wide receiver 1 here, obviously, with Leak's injury. I actually kind of like the idea of bringing Hodgins back, an old friend. We know what he can do. It's not going to, he's not being Malik Neighbors. No one's expecting him to be Malik Neighbors, but the Giants fans like him. They know what he can do. And he's a guy that's shown he can get open. And especially during that 2022 season, he became kind of a go-to receiver for the Giants.
Allows you to run some bigger personnel groupings as well. He's a big slot receiver. If you want to commit more to the run game, he can help you in the blocking areas there. Giants kind of solely operated out of 11 personnel in that playoff run. I know Myers isn't a 1. He might be the closest thing that's attainable to a 1. But I really like him as a wide receiver 2 next to Neighbors next year as well.
Yeah, I think DJ Moore sounds great on paper, but that contract could be an issue. As we've talked about, the Giants are in a tough salary cap situation. I asked you this morning when we were working on this video what they would have to do if they did trade for DJ Moore, and I think it would be restructuring even more contracts or restructuring Moore's contract itself.
You have to restructure his contract. You turn his base salary into a signing bonus, lower that to the league minimum, and then you're going to have to restructure new contracts anyways.
And he may cost too much. I like Kayvon. I don't want to give him up if that's the deal. He's having a hell of a year, and I don't know. Will the Giants pay him?
Can you pay 3 edge rushers?
If they win football games, they're going to pay him because you're not going to mess with a team that wins football games. But if not, I don't know. They could probably trade him this offseason if that's the route they want to go. Obviously, you're taking his health into account and hoping he stays healthy. But
so money aside, if Ryan Poles called you right now and said, we'll trade you DJ Moore for Kayvon Thibodeaux, would you do it?
I guess, yeah, maybe. I might. I mean,
It's
he's
tough.
probably the only somewhat number 1 receiver, a guy who's had multiple 1,000-yard seasons that they probably have a chance at getting. That you would want to bring in, obviously, if you could get Tyreek Hill. We talked about why that wouldn't be a good fit. Some of the other receivers available. This guy, it was a wide receiver 1 with the Carolina Panthers.
But 1,300 yards with Justin Fields.
Yeah, every single year. And with the Bears before Odunze came in, clear-cut number 1 receiver. That's the one guy where it's like, all right, now, no one's replacing Neighbors, but this is a guy who could put up wide receiver 1 numbers.
And you have him and Neighbors next year.
That's it. And that's an exciting thing to think about. Think about DJ Moore facing single coverage every single time. I don't know.
It's a tough decision. Again, you answered that as if the financials wouldn't be a problem. That's not reality. Reality is financials would be a problem. I do worry. Worry's not the word. I do wonder what the future of Kayvon Thibodeaux is with the New York Giants. I just have a hard time believing you could pay Brian Burns $150 million, pay Kayvon Thibodeaux a lot of money, and pay Abdul Carter a lot of money, and pay Dexter Lawrence a lot of money. Now, Abdul Carter's a rookie. You're years away from that happening, but
I mean, listen.
That's a chip that you could use.
If you're going to get something, you got to give up something. No one's giving you something for free in the NFL. And that is a position of strength on the Giants roster where they have assets that they could afford to lose. Obviously, Kayvon's having a great season. He's becoming the player that we thought he would be when he was drafted, number 5 overall. I have a Kayvon Thibodeaux jersey. No one's a bigger Kayvon Thibodeaux fan than me, but are you choosing him over Burns and Carter? Those are the guys you're invested in heavily. This regime is invested in heavily, and they were the ones who drafted Thibodeaux, but those are more recent additions. I don't know. They're desperate for receiver, like we've said, like we would say. I don't know how many times you said the Giants are a Malik Neighbors injury away from wide receiver hell. That's where they are right now. So, I don't know.
I'm all for the next man up, step up. That sounds good at a press conference. How's that going to look on Thursday night versus the Eagles? That's what matters. You could beat the Saints. Again, and I find myself falling into the trap. No one gives a the season's not about winning anymore. The season's about making sure Jaxson Dart's development is on a steady rise. I have a hard time believing it's on a steady rise with Bo Collins and Jalin Hyatt as receiver 3.
And just think about it this way: you have a play you need to win the game. 4th down, you need someone to go win and get the ball to him. Who is that right now on the Giants? Wan'Dale Robinson, right? I mean, they went to Theo Johnson with the game on the line yesterday, but it wasn't him beating man coverage one-on-one and getting open.
In zone.
It's like you don't have a guy in that moment to go win and get open and throw the ball to, and that's something that helps a lot in the NFL when you get to those have-to-have situations.
Too, when you don't have a guy that can command a double team either. Stack the box more.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we saw the yards per carry difference on Scat this past game versus some of the earlier games. He was averaging 5-6 yards a carry. I think it was 3+ yesterday on 25 carries. So they're going to try and take him away now. He is maybe the most threatening offensive playmaker that the Giants have right now with what he's shown so far and in the first 4 games.
I'd be looking at Jacoby Myers. That's my plan. Try to get Myers, work out Odell, see where he's at, and then go get Isaiah Hodgins. And not really sure how much of a solution Isaiah Hodgins is.
It's a Band-Aid.
It's a Band-Aid on a gash that needs 24 stitches.
Yeah.
I don't know. Joe Shane's got his work cut out for him. That's for sure. Let's go Giants. What's up, Beast? You think the Giants would draft Jordan Tyson? I don't even know who Jordan Tyson is.
Arizona State, I believe.
What is he?
Arizona State receiver.
Yeah, I haven't started draft prep yet, to be transparent with you. It's September 29th. I'll say this. Giants are going to draft a receiver early this year. I promise you that. Or they're going to make a big move for a receiver in the offseason. I'll check him out. Let's go, Giants. I'll check him out. Is that all Super Chats?
That's it. We're caught up.
All righty. We're going to sign off on today's show. We've been live for over 2 hours. I appreciate every single one of y'all. We will be back live on the channel maybe on Thursday of this week. Definitely on Sunday against the Saints. Until then, everyone hit that thumbs up icon on your way out if you want to beat the Saints. And we'll see y'all later. Let's go, Big Blue.